our cool down next week. That weather system just starting to move into the Pacific Northwest right now. Eventually, it'll be on its way to us here in Southeast Texas. In the meantime, all is quiet, all is clear, all is calm. We just have a couple of fair weather clouds moving in. And one thing I want to point out, for the first time in what's been almost an entire week, it is clear in Galveston. No sea fog to look at and monitor right now. Beautiful conditions we can. It's 81 in Houston, 80 in Tomball, 83 in Sugar Land right now, 78 in Conroe, and 80 in Huntsville. So really nice evening on our hands for the rest of the night. And we keep the warm weather through the weekend. Saturday and Sunday could have 2 more record warm days before that big drop on Monday. It is going to feel drastically colder between Sunday and Monday. That's why we're getting ready for it, getting you ready for it now. We're going to be talking more about that cold front and how long that cold weather will last coming up in my full forecast.
ABC.
And it was still warm by this time next. Arriving late Sunday nights, we have the chance for a few showers, possibly a storm or two Sunday night. And then I did increase Monday's rain chance just slightly in case you're up early. And we have a couple of those passing showers. But the main story with this front is, of course, the big cool down that comes with it. Big area of low pressure, yet another winter storm that will be impacting the Great Lakes in the northeast. And this is going to be on Sunday when they're getting the precipitation. So if you have travel plans on Sunday, this is something you want to be aware of because it's going to be a big impact across the country. That front for us in Houston doesn't arrive until early Monday morning, so it's overnight Sunday into Monday morning. We have that chance for rain, but then the cool down after that is what's going to keep Monday very cold with that gusty northerly breeze and temperatures only in the 50s. And then you can see the entire Gulf Coast, that freeze line inching closer and closer, where Tuesday morning will be waking up likely in the upper 30s or low 40s. So this front is really going to flip our script here in Southeast Texas from record high temperatures to below normal cold conditions through New Year's Eve, and then a gradual warm up though thereafter. You can see highs possibly back in the mid to upper 70s. So this really is a pattern roller coaster from record warmth to a cool down. Then looking ahead to the first weekend of 2026, potentially above normal conditions return here to Southeast Texas, which could easily mean highs in the mid to upper 70s. So another warm weekend possibly next weekend. Meanwhile, right now, here's the live look across Houston. You can see some of those fair weather cumulus clouds out there, much clearer than where we have been. That blue sky, finally saw more of it today, 81 degrees right now in the city of Houston. And closer to the coast in Galveston, you're finally not fogged in with all that sea fog. Of welcome change from what we've had the past couple of days. 73 degrees, though, there on the island right now. Unfortunately, we do have the chance to see some sea fog roll in once again tonight. But because we have a little more of a breeze, I don't think it's going to be as thick as what we've seen the past few days, but we still have patchy fog in the forecast tonight because it's going to be staying warm and humid with temperatures only falling into the upper 60s by tomorrow morning. So now on Future Track, here we go. Timing this all out, we keep that primarily clear sky throughout the night tonight. Then we start to see some of that fog return tomorrow morning. This isn't necessarily cloud cover. This is some of that fog that will be out there tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. That begins to clear. We still have that breeze from the Gulf, though, so it's still a warm breeze. But with all the sunshine we'll see for the second half of the day, I do think we could be really near a record high temperature. We've hit about 81, 82 today in Houston, and I think with more sunshine tomorrow, we'll be close to that daily record high temperature tomorrow. Sunday, again, another very warm day. That front rolls through overnight Sunday into Monday. So you see that temperature drop Monday. I mean, it's about 40, I would say it's about 20, 30, almost 40 degrees difference between Sunday afternoon and Monday morning. Then I do want to point out that Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, quite chilly. Could potentially have some patchy frost Wednesday morning with temperatures in the mid to upper 30s in the morning. Then we do have a nice warm up heading into the following weekend with possibly our next weather system rolling in for the first weekend of 2026.
All right.
And Sunday, but Monday, we have that front coming in late Sunday night into Monday morning, and that is going to drastically drop temperatures. It is a 30-degree plus temperature drop from Sunday to Monday morning, and Monday afternoon, we're only rebounding into the low 50s. So again, while this front is going to be on its way Sunday, it doesn't pass through until the overnight hours. So we're still in for a very warm weekend, and that front will pave the way for a chilly end to 2025 with a gradual warm up into the first weekend of 2026. 2026. Where is that weather system that's going to bring us to the front? It's just starting to move ashore in the Pacific Northwest. Locally here, so we're in the calm, clear, nothing right now across southeast Texas, just a couple of high-level clouds out there. The winter storm that you were probably hearing about in the northeast, that is a separate system. This one is not going to impact us, but you see the rain, the snow, and the ice headed towards the northeast right now, which could cause some major travel headaches tonight and tomorrow. Meanwhile, this afternoon, we are seeing a beautiful sky out there. Finally can actually see Galveston without the sea fog. Love to report that today. But tonight, we could still potentially have some fog develop with how warm and humid it is. We are stuck in this warm, humid pattern, and temperatures right now still in the low 80s. So a warm night ahead of us tonight and a warm weekend as well. For the last weekend of 2025, might as well go out with a bang with potentially some record warm temperatures each day. We'll have more on the weekend forecast and, of course, that big front coming in next week, coming up in my full forecast.
Yeah, might as well, I guess, Elyse. Thanks.
Physically, but if you also got some brain fog because of how warm and stagnant this pattern has been, well, we've got some big changes in store for you in this forecast. Come this time next week, it is going to feel much colder outside because of a strong cold front that is on the way for Sunday night. So your weekend forecast at a glance, we have the small chance for a few passing showers tomorrow, Sunday. Then Sunday night, that front could bring us some scattered showers, a few showers Monday morning. But the main story with this front is how it's going to cool us down. So let's time it out for you for this weekend. This pattern change arriving Sunday night. So this is going to be an overnight impact for southeast Texas with this timing. 2 a.m. is when this front could be moving through, bringing a few showers. But then the cool down thereafter, check out that pink freezing line, dipping all the way towards the Gulf Coast into Tuesday morning. Very cold when we get to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, where even Wednesday we have the possibility to see some patchy frost develop in the morning and possibly a light freeze across some areas in southeast Texas. Meanwhile, it was a near record warm day today. We keep that near record warmth for tomorrow and Sunday. Then that front rolls through, very cold for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning, but you see a gradual warm up as we head into the first weekend of the new year. Yeah, could see temperatures back in the upper 70s. Big temperature roller coaster considering the record warmth this weekend, the cool down next week, and then by that following weekend, the first one of 2026 could have above normal temperatures once again, which could easily mean highs in the mid to upper 70s for that time of year. Meanwhile, we got a little bug friend hanging out right now. Hello there, Mr. B. Hope you're doing okay and had a lovely Christmas. It's 81 degrees right now in Houston. Some beautiful blue sky out there. Nice to see that for a change in Houston. And in Galveston, you don't have that sea fog locked in right now. That is great news for you. 72 degrees, some nice high-level clouds out there now. Unfortunately, though, I do have to point out that we do have the chance to see some sea fog roll in once again tonight. I don't think it's going to be as dense as what we've experienced the past couple of mornings because we have seen more of a breeze pick up from the Gulf. So that said, tonight, temperatures falling from the 80s into the upper 60s, but that chance to have some fog early tomorrow morning. And you'll see that here on Future Track. Let's walk through it. So playing through Future Track for the rest of the night. Tonight, this is 10 p.m. Typically within the past few nights, we've seen that surging sea fog begin to roll in across southeast Texas. Not necessarily the case tonight with a stronger breeze and a little bit of a drier pattern overhead. Meanwhile, tomorrow morning, this is a little bit of low-lying clouds and some fog for the possibility right when you're getting going at 7 a.m. Not necessarily expecting a dense fog advisory, but one could be issued for tomorrow. That fog quickly lifts and clears. A lot of sunshine in store for us tomorrow, where we could potentially have another record warm day in the city of Houston. Today, we were 1 degree away from tying the daily record high temperature. Tomorrow, I think we're going to meet it with the sunshine. Sunday, it's a possibility, too. That front rolls in Sunday night into Monday, so I do want to point out a high temperature of 82 Sunday afternoon, a morning low of 48 for Monday, so much colder to start next week. Chilly end to 2025, pretty mild to start the new year into Thursday and Friday. By that next weekend, that first weekend of 2026, we'll be monitoring possibly our next weather system rolling in. But at this time, it just looks like, yeah, it's going to be potentially another mild weekend next weekend, even with that very cold start we have to the week on Monday.
All right, Elyse.
They're a little sniffle, but here's the thing. The cold weather and the temperature swings doesn't actually really make you sick, but I want you to be aware that we do have some big temperature swings headed our way over the next 3 to 4 days. Meanwhile, this afternoon and evening, if you're headed out to spend some time with friends and family after the holiday, really nice and pleasant outside. Temperatures right now hover in the upper 70s or low 80s across southeast Texas, and they'll continue to do so tomorrow afternoon and Sunday afternoon as well. The big temperature drop is coming. Highs in the 80s for tomorrow. tomorrow and Sunday, but then by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, ooh, look at that. You really see that pictured so well here with that large temperature contrast we have over the next 5 days. A strong cold front on the way, and that's going to kick us back into that wintry weather by early next week, giving us a cold end to 2025. And that weather system that's bringing the cool down, it's starting to make its way into the Pacific Northwest. Big trough and eventually big area of low pressure will bring us that cold front and the cool down behind it. Meanwhile, I'm also monitoring a major winter storm that's going to be bringing some heavy snow to New York City, much of the Northeast. That's something I'm actively tracking. That's not going to impact us here in Southeast Texas, though. We're going to have more on this warm weather ahead, and of course the cool down, that big temperature swing coming up in my full forecast.
And we're ready for it. We'll see you then.
Travel delay, but nothing yet in Newark area into LaGuardia or JFK, but I'm guessing that's going to change as they have some heavy snow headed their way. But across the center of the country, all is calm, all is quiet, and it will likely stay that way for tomorrow, not necessarily on Sunday, because Sunday we have that cold front coming to us, and that system is going to sweep across the nation. Rain chances climb with that front Sunday night, so we are going to pick up a little bit of rain from this weather system, but it's the big cold cool down that comes after that that is really going to be the top talker here in Southeast Texas. So let's get you ready for it. So this weekend, warm weekend. This front doesn't reach us until Sunday night, and when it does, it will bring the opportunity for a few showers, but it really more so opens the door for that cold, wintry air to return once again. Look at the freeze line approaching the Gulf Coast into Tuesday morning. It's going to be quite cold Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday, where by Wednesday morning we have the possibility to have some patchy frost or even a light freeze in portions of Southeast Texas. We're still several days away from that, so things to iron out, but what we are certain of is a big temperature drop from Sunday to Monday, potentially a 30-degree temperature drop between both afternoons. And from Sunday afternoon to Monday morning, that's when we're going to see the biggest temperature drop, because we're landing likely in the upper 40s. And we stay quite cold for the end of 2025, but looking ahead to the first weekend of 2026, it's the roller coaster back up. We climb once again with above normal temperatures possible across much of the country. That cold front paving the way for a pretty cold start to the new year across the Great Lakes and the Northeast, but the rest of the country experiencing what will likely be above normal temperatures, including us here in Houston, which could mean highs back in the upper 70s for the first weekend of 2026. Meanwhile, right now, here's a live look to Houston. That sun just starting to set across the region right now. 81 degrees, though, very warm. We were 1 degree away from a record high temperature today. It reached 83 degrees in Houston, and closer to the coast in Galveston. Finally, Galveston, you don't have all that thick sea fog that is covering you up. We saw some relief from that today. It's currently 72 degrees on the island. I do want to mention, though, that we'll likely see some patchy fog develop once again tonight. I mean, we're stuck in this warm, humid weather pattern, so that is easily a possibility, as temperatures are only going to fall into the upper 60s by tomorrow morning. So now on Future Track, a couple of things I want to point out. We've had some of that fair weather cumulus out there today, but looking ahead to tonight, we'll start to see some light sea fog lift in. I don't anticipate it being as thick or dense as what we saw the past few mornings, but this is all fog for tomorrow morning, so there is the possibility of getting a dense fog advisory in some counties in Southeast Texas, but I don't think it's going to be as widespread or dense as what we witnessed the past few mornings leading up to Christmas. Then for tomorrow afternoon, we see that clear and lift pretty quickly, and then with all the sunshine we'll see tomorrow, I think that's easily going to get us close to another daily record high temperature for Saturday. Your weekend forecast, very warm. That front rolls in Sunday night into Monday. Monday will be much colder, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, it's back to winter here in Southeast Texas. So a cold end to 2025. Looking ahead to the first few days of 2026, we start to see that gradual climb temperature-wise, pretty mild to end the next week, round out that next week. And first weekend of 2026 could be pretty warm once again, though, with high temperatures in the upper 70s. So yeah, I didn't give you cold weather for Christmas this time of year, but we do have cold weather coming for next week. I think it's best highlighted here in this big temperature map for you. Tomorrow could be another record warm day in the city of Houston. Sunday as well, and then the bottom falls out Monday. A high temperature from 82 to 54 degrees, but Monday morning it could be even colder. So this really is potentially a 30, 40 degree temperature temperature drop within about 12 hours in southeast Texas early next week. So if you have been in the haze and the bliss of, well, fog, but also the Christmas time spirit, don't be fooled. Next week, we want you to get ready for this colder air, the return of winter that we'll see here in southeast Texas. And that weather system gearing up to develop right now across the Pacific Northwest. It's just starting to move into the United States. The rain, the snow that we're seeing there is with the weather system that will bring us our cool down. You also are probably hearing about all the snow and the ice that is moving through the Northeast right now. That's also an impact to potentially travel plans tonight. Should clear by tomorrow morning. Then here at home, we actually saw a nice northerly wind shift today in the upper levels of the atmosphere, which is why we were able to see the fog finally clear along the coast. Galveston, it's so nice to see you today. I know you've been locked in with that fog. Across the region, though, a beautiful sunset happening. We're going to have more, of course, on that cool down and the warm up that we could see into that first weekend of 2026. Big temperature roller coaster coming up. We'll have the details on that in a few minutes. 25, at least for the last weekend. But that cold front slated for Sunday night could bring us a couple of showers Sunday night into Monday morning. But the main story is going to be the cool down that we get after that front moves in. So here's the big weather system gearing up to move across the country this weekend. If you have friends or family traveling late tomorrow night into Sunday, this weather system could potentially bring rain and snow to much of the Midwest and the Great Lakes, the Northeast. But for us here in southeast Texas, it's rain and the cool down as we get the system's cold front. So the time frame I want to point out, the timestamp here is 2 a.m. Monday. So remember, the weekend as a whole, very, very warm. The cool down happens overnight into Monday morning. So Monday morning is going to be drastically colder than where we are on Sunday. And then we keep that cold weather in place for Tuesday and Wednesday. And by Tuesday morning, that freeze line, even approaching the Gulf Coast, and where we will see temperatures potentially in the upper 30s or low 40s Tuesday morning. Wednesday morning, possibly dipping into the 30s. As for high temperatures, you see that big change from Sunday into Monday. Get ready for it. If you packed up all of those sweaters, make sure you unpack them once again, because sweaters, scarves, jackets needed for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But we start to see a slight increase in temperatures once we enter the new year on Thursday, and then potentially the first weekend of 2026. Quite warm as well. Above normal temperatures returning to southeast Texas and the state as a whole, which could mean high temperatures the first weekend of 2026 in the upper 70s. I know it's a warm weekend this weekend, next weekend possibly as well too, with warm temperatures after that cold front moves through. Meanwhile, we've got golden hour as the sun begins to set. Houston's been in the 80s today, 80 degrees right now in Houston. We are 1 degree away from another record warm day today in the city, and we're keeping that in the forecast this weekend. And Galveston, the big news for you, I've been monitoring your fog all week long. You finally saw that lift and clear today. We had a weak weather system pass us by to the north, gave us a nice wind shift, and that helps kick some of the fog out of here, at least for now. 71 degrees. You're going to hover near the 70s all night long, because we do have the potential to see a little sea fog return once again. So your hour-by-hour forecast for tonight, very warm and pleasant evening. It's going to be a humid night once again, and the chance to see a little bit of fog to develop overnight into tomorrow morning. So you'll see that here on Future Track. The sea fog not as thick because of the stronger breeze out of the Gulf, but then also that wind shift from the upper levels too. So moving into tomorrow morning, we will see some of that fog redevelop. I don't think it's going to be as dense, as thick or widespread as what we saw the past few mornings. Could potentially get a dense fog advisory, but just know tomorrow morning, if we have a foggy start to the day early on, it should lift pretty quickly. And the clearing and the sunshine we get for the second half of the day, that's what's going to send temperatures into the 80s tomorrow. So potentially another record warm day in the city of Houston tomorrow. Even Sunday, much colder by Monday. You will feel the difference when you step out the door Monday. Temperatures could even fall through lunchtime before they rebound into the low 50s. Tuesday and Wednesday, thankfully, we should see more sunshine each day. The possibility for a little bit of light frost, maybe a light freeze for counties well north of the city of Houston Wednesday morning. We don't keep any freezing temperatures or in the 30s very long, though. A gradual warm up into the first weekend of 2026, with potentially our next weather system rolling in a couple days after that.
There is a change on the way. There's always a bright side in Houston. Elyse Smith is here. Elyse, now, while we are going to get some relief, it's not going to last that long.
It's not, but this is going to be quite the temperature contrast this week. So your weekend at a glance, still very warm in southeast Texas with a small chance for a passing shower tomorrow and Sunday. That cold front rolls through Sunday night. It will bring the chance for a couple of showers with it, but the main story is the cool down we're going to get on Monday. So big picture, next storm system developing as we speak. It will move across the northern half of the country, potentially bringing rain and heavy snow to portions of the high plains, the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast. But it's the cold front that will be on the way for southeast Texas. And this is our weather maker for us, sliding through, potentially bringing a couple of light showers. But it's the cool down after that that we're really focusing on. Look at this pink line. This is the freezing line approaching the Gulf Coast into Tuesday morning. And factoring in the breeze, it is going to feel quite chilly Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, where Wednesday morning we could even see temperatures close to the freezing mark in southeast Texas. But as of right now, we're not forecasting a freeze. So you see that wild temperature roller coaster we're going on Saturday, Sunday, big drop on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, cold into 2025. But then we start to see a gradual warm up into 2026. I think the first day of 2026 on Thursday of next week is going to be gorgeous, seasonal with sunshine, a nice mild morning and afternoon. But then by next weekend, we could be back in the upper 70s. So this cold is not lasting very long, at least locally. The front in the weather system that is moving through to our north, that is going to pave the way for a pretty cold start to 2026 for the Great Lakes in the Northeast and portions of the East Coast. But for us across Texas, likely a warm start, at least for the first weekend of 2026, with possibly high temperatures in the upper 70s. Meanwhile, right now the sun has set, and right after sunset, we always get a good temperature drop. It fell a couple of degrees. It's now 76 in the city of Houston and Galveston right now. It's starting to look a little more hazy out there, but you finally saw that fog lift. You are free from that dense fog advisory. It's 72 right now, and temperatures are going to hover there tonight. And unfortunately, I do think we have the chance to see a little more sea fog develop into the early morning hours tomorrow. So temperatures gradually falling only into the upper 60s tonight. It is still warm, it is still humid, and that's why we have the chance to see some sea fog develop and lift back in tonight. So here's 10 p.m. By this point yesterday, the day before that, when we were so foggy along the coast, we already had that thick sea fog develop. That's a change, but looking to tomorrow morning, I do think we're still going to have some pockets of dense fog, though I don't think it will be as widespread or thick as what we've seen the past couple of days here in southeast Texas. That said, that fog quickly clears. We have more sunshine in store for us tomorrow afternoon. And I really think that's what's going to help us warm into the low 80s tomorrow. So near record warm days for tomorrow and Sunday. Cold front moves through Sunday night, completely changes the game. Winter returns in short time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Rest of your 10-day forecast from here. A nice gradual warm up day by day through the middle of the week into that first weekend of 2026. And yeah, it looks like it could be a warm one with possibly our next weather system rolling in thereafter.
All right.
But then by Monday, a completely different winter returns in a hurry Sunday night into Monday morning as we have a strong cold front on the way, and that front will pave the way for a cold end to 2025 with some pretty chilly temperatures only in the 50s each afternoon through Wednesday, and morning low temperatures Tuesday and Wednesday could only potentially be in the 30s. Not forecasting a freeze at this moment, but it will be much colder. And that weather system bringing the cold weather is just starting to move ashore into the Pacific Northwest. The big storm system I'm keeping an eye on tonight is all the way in the northeast, bringing snow and ice to the northeast tonight. So if you have friends or family trying to travel to or from there, big impactful weather. Meanwhile, across the rest of the country, pretty clear in southeast Texas and clear across the country. So travel plans tomorrow, I think you should be pretty good. But one thing I do want to point out, we're already starting to see some dense fog advisories pop up once again. I know the fog finally lifted in Galveston, but you can see to the east and to the west, a few little fog advisories. I think the fog is moving a little farther to the east at this moment, but I have to say tonight I am forecasting some patchy fog to develop as temperatures fall into the upper 60s overnight. Fall, I mean, we're already in the 70s. This is such a warm and humid pattern. We're still stuck in it for about 2 more days with highs climbing back into the 80s on Saturday for tomorrow. Small chance for a light shower, but I really think it is going to be a drier and sunnier day with a couple of fair weather cumulus clouds out there as well. We'll have more on that cold front though, Jonathan, coming up in my full forecast because our drought conditions are continuing to get worse here in South southeast Texas. We had some brief relief earlier this fall with several systems that brought us rain, but unfortunately now drought conditions creeping back into southeast Texas and a lot of the state as well. Drought conditions continuing to settle back in north of Dallas too, so we could really use some beneficial rain, but it's not really on the horizon at this moment. This next winter storm bringing heavy snow and rain to much of the high plains, the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast this weekend. By Sunday night, the system's cold front is on our doorstep. This is the weather system that is going to bring us that Arctic bitter blast, not an Arctic, but a bitter blast of cold air that we haven't seen in at least a week here in southeast Texas. Some rain along that front and ahead of it, but the cool down is what we're really zoning in on right now. This pink line, the freeze line, approaching the Gulf Coast and will be approaching southeast Texas too into Wednesday morning. I think Tuesday morning we'll just miss it with morning lows Tuesday in the upper 30s or low 40s, but Wednesday morning the possibility of a light, potentially light frost here in southeast Texas. Meanwhile, it's the high temperatures that I think also really show this between Sunday and Monday, especially potentially near record levels tomorrow and Sunday. Then the bottom falls out Monday afternoon. Temperatures only in the 50s. Will be 30 degrees colder, potentially feeling like 40 degrees colder with a gusty northerly breeze. Then for Wednesday and for Tuesday and Wednesday, we keep that 50-degree mark. So very much a cold end to 2025. But I also want to point out that the first weekend of 2026, we could flip back in the other direction. This is the temperature outlook for the 1st through the 5th of the new year. We rebound and potentially see above normal temperatures in the upper 70s for the first weekend of 2026. That cold front, though, could potentially pave the way for below normal temperatures across the northern half of the country. As for tonight, again, it's very warm, very muggy outside, especially for December standards. Temperatures only really falling into the upper 60s, and we will have the chance for a few areas of fog to develop. We already got a dense fog advisory for Matagorda Bay. That sea fog not as thick as what it was earlier this week, thanks to just a quick little weather system that passed to our north, gave us enough of a wind shift in the upper levels of the atmosphere to kind of dry us out. But you'll see overnight tonight, this is all some cloud cover and fog developing by tomorrow morning. Could potentially see a dense fog advisory expand to portions of southeast Texas, but I don't think the fog is going to be as thick or dense tomorrow morning. It quickly clears, and with all of that sunshine, we warm up into the low 80s for tomorrow afternoon. So very warm, potentially near record levels Saturday and Sunday. By Monday, though, there is that cold front bringing in that colder weather that I know you might have wanted for Christmas, but we're getting it for a different holiday. It'll be right around New Year's. Heading into the new year, a gradual warm up into the first weekend of 2026, with potentially our next storm system rolling in sometime around the first weekend of the new year or just thereafter.
All right, Elyse, thank you.
It is going to feel drastically colder by Monday, and then we keep the chilly weather for Tuesday and Wednesday to round out the new year, ending on a bit of a colder note. And that weather system bringing us the cold front is just starting to dip into the Pacific Northwest right now. It's not going to reach us yet. We still got a couple of days. There's a major winter storm moving through the Northeast right now, bringing heavy snow and even ice to New York and Philadelphia. And then here in southeast Texas, same old. It's calm, it's quiet, it's humid and warm outside. So for tonight, we do have the chance to see a couple areas of fog develop overnight once again, with temperatures really only hovering in the upper 60s or low 70s. Then tomorrow, once we see some of that fog and haziness clear in the morning, temperatures will be off to the races. We're climbing into the low 80s tomorrow afternoon. There we go. We're going to have more on this warm weather that we have for the weekend, and of course that cold front coming up in my full forecast.
Elyse, thank you.